Hi and welcome to another 5-minute session, and this time it will be the node ShaderToRGB. First of all, you have to go to render properties and change render engine to Eevee, because Eevee is the only render engine that supports ShaderToRGB. Then we need an object, so I press Shift A, go to Mesh and use this monkey here. And I can subdivide her a bit, so go to modifiers, add modifier, generate, and select subdivision surface. Put it to 2 for instance, object, shade, smooth, yes, so we have something here. And right now I have a sun that is shining on her, so if you go to my light you can see how it looks right now. I have a strength of 4 and an angle of 0. And selected the sun just to get some reflection on Susan here, and you can do it as you want to. Yes, so you have something that is bright and something that is not bright, so if you want to rotate that a bit and move it, it's totally up to how you would like to do it. It's your scene, you have to do it as you want to. But when you have selected this, then you can select Susan, select new, so we get some material here, and you can change things like roughness and everything in the shader here. But when you use ShaderToRGB, you take all that information and transform it into pure color. And the easiest way is just to move principle a bit and then just drag from the output. And then you can see in top here, ShaderToRGB. So just select that one. If you put that to the surface, you only put in the color here from the principle. Right now you don't see so much difference, but you can do a lot of stuff with that color if you want to. So normally you would like to have a higher contrast, and that you easily do with a color ramp, for instance. So pressing Shift A, go to converter and select that color ramp. Then you can just increase the contrast like this, so you get it more like in a comic or something like that. But you also often have like lines, or you have small dots or something like that to get like a half tone out of it, and that is also stuff that you can do here. So adding a texture, for instance, so I can put in Shift A here, texture, and we can use, let's say, a wave texture, and then I can change this to using diagonal, and then I can just put that in here, and I can use like a less than or greater than. So Shift A, converter, math, and then I put in here like a greater than, and take the factor here, and now you can see we get in some lines here, and I can then increase this to get it to look good. Right now you can see it gets bigger here, and it gets a lot smaller here, and it looks a bit distorted because it follows the eyebrow and so on. And normally when you're doing this, it's like 2D, so you want like straight lines here. And one way to do that is to use the camera data. So you can press Shift A, input, and put in like a camera data here, view vector in here, and you get straight lines. And now it more looks like a comic book that is done here. So we have this, and if you want to, then you can just increase or decrease it as you want in the color ramp up here. You can also use a map range or something else to filter it out, or a power node. So, but the color ramp is easy to visualize and easy to drag. You can also add more colors into this. So if you want to have this, for instance, red instead, then of course you cannot use the great then, because that will make it white, a black gap. But you can control it in different ways here. And you can also do like this, that you put this to constant, and then you get it white and red, and then you can add more stuff in here. So you can have it like this, for instance. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do with ShaderToRGB. the color is yours. You can distort it any way you want, and you only get the shadows and so on from the shader on this side here. So really versatile. People use this a lot when they are doing non-realistic stuff. Hopefully I learned something about ShaderToRGB, and as usual I just say bye for now and see you tomorrow.